Hello there, I'm Maria Rothenberger from the Miracles Happen Fertility Center at drmariarothenberger.com. This is part of the Compassion series, Compassion vlog series that I'm doing for 2020, and this is week 28. Holy cow, I cannot believe 28 weeks of compassion, and man, do we need it in 2020. This week's quote, oh, by the way, I'm using this book, A Year of Living with More Compassion, a project that I decided to do in December of 2019, and I am so glad I did, because lots of stuff going on this year. This week's quote is by Pema Chödrön. I've done a quote by her before, or she's been in this book before. And the theme for this week is called Widening the Circle of Compassion. And this is what the quote says. True compassion does not come from wanting to help out those less fortunate than ourselves, but from realizing our kinship with all beings. Okay, this one is driving home a point for me. I'm just going to read so each quote has a little writing and then an exercise. And the writing that Pema writes, or that is written here, is about widening the circle, having a kinship with all beings. And I like what they say here. The narrowness of our circle gives us a sense of separateness, a sense that true heartfelt compassion is available only for a select few. Einstein referred to this sense of separateness as a delusion, a prison, and called on us to break free and find our kinship with all living beings. So I have two anecdotes from my own experience recently. One is kind of funny, the other one is not so funny. The first one was we went on a camping trip recently, and my son had taken a stick and went into the woods and came back. On the stick was a little bug. One of those, we used to call them roly-polies. Some people call them pill bugs or something. So he had one of those bugs on the end of the stick, and he's walking over toward the fire, and bloop, the bug fell in the fire. I was appalled because the bug is within my circle of compassion. I'm very compassionate. I have a lot of compassion for a lot of people, including myself. That is one being that is within my circle. Now, more serious. There is a Black Lives Matter movement happening right now that I hope continues until we get this shit resolved. And a lot of the work that I'm doing as a privileged white person is learning the ways in which I unwittingly have kept myself separate from Black people. Even though, I have friends, I have Black friends, I work with Black people, it's different. There's a difference there. And I'm currently reading a book called Me and White Supremacy, which I highly recommend you pick up, because the depth of the work that you do in that book, it's an actual course for recognizing your own privilege as a white person, if you are a white person or can pass as a white person, which the author is very clear about. And so when I've done this work to widen, first of all, to have an understanding of what's happening with me, then I begin to widen. I'm beginning to widen my circle of who belongs in the compassion circle. Now, intellectually, I'm thinking, well, everybody belongs in the compassion circle. I'm very compassionate. Well, but not how I've needed to be in some regards. And I'm learning a lot more about that. And I hope you do too, if you are like me. Because everybody deserves this compassion. So this week's practice is about widening the circle. And I love the exercise they give here. It's a series of steps here. And I will just tell you what they wrote here. So the first step is to draw a circle on a blank sheet of paper, and inside the circle, write the names of some people that are already within your circle of compassion. Like if you have children, yes. If you have pets, yes. If you have close family members, yes. A spouse, yes. In-laws that you love, maybe, yes. And on that same paper, write the names of a few people you know that are outside of that circle. Maybe someone that had pissed you off recently. Maybe you're on the outs with them. Somebody that you had a falling out with a long time ago. Maybe they would be on there. Okay, then the third step is to pick one person from inside of your circle and reflect on your relationship with them. Allow an idea of something you can do for them or something you can give them to naturally arise. Act on that idea within 24 hours. Okay? Fairly easy to do. When people are inside your circle, or pets or whomever are inside your circle, a pill bug, roly-poly, it's easy to come up with something that you could do for them. Here's the hard part. On a different day, pick one person from outside of your circle and meditate on that person for 15 minutes, asking the following questions. 1, what challenges are they facing at this point in time? 2, what losses have they experienced in the past? 3, what is one example of support or help that you have received from this person in the past? 4, what have you done? This is a really difficult question, and it's part of me and white supremacy too, by the way. What have you done to contribute to this person's suffering? Include ways you tried to help that may have caused discomfort or frustration from them. Okay? That's the meditation on this person that's outside of your circle. The last part of this exercise this week, at the end of your period of reflection, contemplate possible acts of support and compassion that you may be able to offer this person. Ask yourself, if this person were in my circle of compassion, what would I do? What would I do different? Is my personal reflection. Knowing that this person is outside of my circle, what would I do for them if I imagined they were inside my circle? It was so easy for the person that was inside my circle, or the pill bug, or my pet. But what would I do if I imagined that person inside my circle? It's a really difficult exercise and useful in helping to cultivate this compassion, widening the circle of compassion. All beings deserve compassion. That is it for week 28. May you have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in week 29.